Hey Crosswatchers for Aries, welcome to your general video for September. We're going to see what's going on with the Aries in your life. Keep in mind, guys, these are done with the intention and the spirit of bringing in high vibration, bringing about good results. This is not being done in a sneaky, nosy, spying kind of way. So I'm requesting that the information come in, be beneficial for all those involved and for Aries as well. So, if you're an Aries and you're watching and it doesn't resonate, it may not be for you. These are general readings, keep in mind. And also, maybe your person doesn't watch these kinds of videos. Maybe your person's not on my channel. So, there's that as well. But we're going to go ahead and see what is coming up, my dears. And the cards are kind of like, they're getting sticky as I'm trying to shuffle. So, there could be some kind of a, see how they're like, they're not... there could be something going on, but let's see. There could be some kind of, I want to say disagreement, but not disagreement in terms of an argument. Disagreement in terms of like, maybe you all aren't on the same page about something. But let's go ahead and see what's coming up. Or they might be feeling stuck about something. Let's see. So your first card here, you've got Ace of Cups. So there is a new beginning involved, okay? Sometimes Ace of Cups can indicate a reconciliation or like a starting over, like, you know, like trying to make amends. Or the thing that makes it different to me from Six of Cups, which Six of Cups can also be reconciliation, it makes it different for me because it's like I feel it's someone that's actually coming back to the table with having learned lessons or having worked on themselves, or, you know, just like in an energy where this time they're doing things in a different way because they're hoping that things can be better. There's some people they don't learn, right? And you have got the crazy on again, off again craziness because they don't change. They just keep doing the same thing again and again, off and on. But for me, Ace of Cups is like somebody's learned, somebody's grown, somebody is looking to have a connection, like, you know, really wanting happiness, you know, finding their happiness, wanting happiness for others. So Ace of Cups could be, for some of you, there's like a reconciliation type thing, but wanting a fresh start, wanting a clean slate, and to do things the right way around. For others, it could be something along the lines of having to do with just somebody very new coming into your life. The fact that it's coming up for Aries, though, is I feel Aries might be in this energy where they're finally finding their happiness and they're finally doing things that feel fulfilling for them. Because you got to keep in mind with Aries, Aries can be a very driven, goal-oriented, you know, success, succeed kind of energy. And they can be very hard on themselves, and they can be always trying to do better than they did the last time. And so they can end up in cycles where they will do something very wholeheartedly, but it's not necessarily something that they enjoy. They're doing it because they're trying to prove themselves, either to themselves or to someone else, but they're doing it because they don't want to come off as a failure. They want to feel successful. So they will do something they hate doing just to see it through, to be able to say, I did it. See, I was able to do it. And so I feel your Aries might be waking up and realizing that, hey, you know what? If I don't like something and if I don't want to do it anymore, it doesn't mean that I didn't succeed. It just means that I want to live a life where I do things I enjoy doing. So I feel like they might be at this new beginning. And if you remember in the beginning when I was shuffling, I said the cards felt kind of stuck, like there was this indecision or there was this not like knowing how to move forward. So I feel this could be an inner conflict with your Aries. I feel like they might be very happy right now, and they might be either concerned about how that's going to affect an existing relationship if you all are already involved. Like, are you going to be on board? Are you going to support them with these new ideas and this new direction they want to go in? Or if this is somebody that's more new to you, or you're trying to reconcile, they might be thinking, you know, oh, is this going to mess up the fact that I'm finally happy? Like, am I ready for a relationship? I'm finally starting to find things that bring me joy. I'm like finding myself. Do I really, like, am I ready at this point to bring this on, or should I just focus on this one thing right now? So I really feel like Aries is happier, or beginning to be happier, or finding their happiness, and they may have some concerns that, is love life gonna bring me down? Like, is love life gonna make me sad again, or is it gonna take me off track, or is this person gonna be supportive of the things I want to do or experience? So they may be kind of on the fence there on those terms, along those lines. Next here we have Six of Swords. Your Aries is done with drama. They don't want it. They do not want it. Okay? Six of Swords is like, I'm out of here. I'm gone. Like, I don't want to deal with that. That doesn't mean they're done with you, unless you're bringing them drama. If you're bringing them drama, then this is going to be, you want to talk about make it or break it, this is going to be break it. They're not doing it. They're simply not doing it. I feel like you might already be seeing your Aries as a stubborn person or a strong-willed person, because they are very determined individuals usually. But they're just in this place where I feel like they're in this place in their life where they're finding positive things about their life, and they're finding ways to be positive, and they're finding ways to be productive, right? To take anything that they're wanting to release, anything they're wanting to deal with, they're finding productive outlets. And they don't want to make time for anyone who's going to be negative about that. And they don't want to make time for anybody who's not going to be on the same page. Okay? So you may be dealing with an Aries who's going through a really big career change. Okay? I can tell you, for me, when I went from being a paralegal to going on to my spiritual path, people thought I had lost my mind. And there were just people who were like, nope, I don't want anything to do with you. Like, you're nuts. And I'm much happier on my spiritual path, and it's I have no complaints as far as what I'm doing here now. But your Aries may be going through that kind of a situation, because Spirit just made me remember that when I was connecting with the energy here. So you might be looking at your Aries like, hey, like, you're really established in your life. Like, why do you want to go on this new journey or this new path? Like, why can't you just be, let good enough be good enough, and just stay in that way? And Aries doesn't want to do it. So I feel like you, Crosswatcher, may have a big decision. Are you okay with this quote unquote new Aries? Are you going to be able to be accepting of it? If you cannot be accepting of it, they're not going to change. Like, this is it. This is the line in the sand has been drawn. You're either with it or you're not with it. And there's no right or wrong answer. If you don't want to be with it, if it doesn't feel right to you, or if you're not happy with it, then you shouldn't be with it. Then you should go and find somebody that you're going to be more comfortable with, or that you're going to feel aligned with where you're wanting to go. But Aries has made up their mind, and they don't want to deal with bickering or arguing or fighting or any of that. They just want to have a peace of mind. I think peace is very important for them right now. If you are dealing with an Aries and you are supportive of this person, I would advise you, to avoid doing anything like gossiping around them, or just talking about like an annoying person at work, or like venting about someone annoying, because they're just gonna take this as negativity. And I think they're just on this thing of like, why do I care what some annoying person is doing, or why do I care about the gossip of somebody else's life? Like, I'm focused on me, or I'm focused on us. Like, let's talk about positive things that relate to you and I. Let's talk about positive things that relate to our future. They don't want to hear other people's business. They don't want to hear other people, like, complaints about other people. I'm not saying that you can't go to Aries with your emotions or feelings if you're having a hard day, but they want it to be approached in a positive way, in a constructive way. If you are feeling like super down or super mopey, and we all feel that way at times, you know, Aries might not be able to handle that right now. So, you know, if you just really need to let out a lot of harsh, big emotions, it might be a good idea to look into like you know, just a friend or just someone else. You know, if it's not gonna be a quick conversation, or if it's not gonna be like you know, it was a crazy day, but you know, I'm glad I'm with you now, and let's be happy, or let's do something positive. You know, if it's anything outside of that, like if you're having really massive emotions, and we all do at times, you know, Aries just might not be in the place where they can handle that right now, because they're coming out of their own massive emotions, and they're trying to stay positive, and they're trying to turn things around and trying to bring joy into their life. So, yep, see, next we have Five of Swords. And Five of Swords is a little disagreement that can turn into a big problem, okay? It's like a little small thing that can get blown out of proportion. And like I said, Aries doesn't want drama right now. And like I said, you know, they might be making decisions, or they might have this new beginning where they're not really open to discussing it. So Five of Swords for me is sometimes someone who like bottles things up and for a very long time, and then something will happen and they'll explode. But I'm not getting that feeling this time with Five of Swords in this energy. The feeling that I'm getting in this time is, like I said, that line being drawn in the sand. Like they're not looking to negotiate this. Like, you're with it or you're not with it. And if you're not with it, then, you know, they're not going to change, and they don't want to hear it anymore. You know, like if you have somebody who was like I don't know, who was like an attorney, and they were making a ton of money, and then they decided, you know what? I want to go to art school. I'm going to go to art school and I'm going to be an artist. You might be like, whoa, wait a minute, that's risky. You know, it might be hard to make it as an artist, or even if you make it as an artist, you might not be making as much money as you were making when you were a lawyer. They don't care about the money. They're about fulfillment right now. They're about fulfillment. And they don't want anyone getting in the way of that. So again, Five of Swords for me just feels like whatever you're dealing with your Aries has made up their mind. That's the feeling it's giving me. Next, we have here Six of Wands. So this does give us a sense or a feeling of happiness, of victory, of overcoming difficulties. So whatever is happening here, and whatever you might be concerned about, Aries probably has a plan for it. And if there's anything Aries are good at, it's at sticking at a goal and making it happen, right? They're very driven in that way. So this does say that these things that Aries is taking up, or these goals, these new goals they have, or the new plans they have, they are going to be able to succeed. They are going to be able to make it happen, okay? But it's going to take time, and it's going to be done in their way. Like, they're going to do it in their way. They're going to come out of the competition element, or the challenges. It also gives me a sense or a feeling like you might feel with this Aries like you can't win. There might be a power struggle. That's what I feel like is happening. There may be a power struggle between you and Aries. And keep in mind, I'm reading this as if I'm reading their cards. Like, I'm reading it from their view about like what's going on here in the situation, to give you a better idea of like, you know, how they're feeling, or what they're dealing with, or what's going on with them. And as far as like what they want from the relationship. But this makes me feel like you might feel with the Five of Swords together and the Six of Wands together. It makes me feel like you may feel like you can't win with them. Like, you might feel like, you know what, I cannot win with this person. Like they have an answer for everything, and they're sticking to their side here. They're not backing down. So again, this is it. This is make it or break it. This is like, we're doing this or we're not doing this. This is a time to decide, because I feel like a lot of you are dealing with an Aries where you felt like everything was decided. You felt like everything was set. You feel like they're, flipping the script on you. You feel like they're going in a different direction. You feel like all of a sudden they're veering off the plan. And your stance may be, look, this is not how things were, or this is not what we had agreed. You need to, come back to the agreement. Even if it was established from before, they're not going to do that. They're chasing their bliss. Aries is chasing their bliss. They don't have time for drama, and they don't want to hear anything negative, and they don't want anybody who's not going to be supportive of that. And so again, it's something that you're having to decide, if you can be on board with that or not. Next here we have Seven of Swords. So Seven of Swords can be, if you have not had contact with this Aries, it could be that they've been working on things and they've been working on themselves. And they may be creeping around online trying to figure out what's going on with you in your life, so they can pop up and say, aha, like, look at me, look at how I've changed, look at all these great things in my life, don't you want me now? So it could be somebody trying to come in and trying to get you back in terms of reconciliation. So it makes me feel that if you're a cross-watcher where you haven't heard from Aries in a while, but you feel like they might be coming back around, I do feel like they're coming back around, and I do feel like they're coming back around changed. But there's a little bit of a resentment in their energy, with like, I don't want to hear the drama, I don't want the negativity. So the Seven of Swords to me feels like they might be trying to figure out how to come back into your life, but it may be more in a way where they want to prove you wrong. Like, you said I wasn't nothing, or you said I wasn't going to be anything, or you didn't think I was good enough. And they're like working on themselves and then wanting to come back and say, see everything I've done without you. Oh, my life is better off without you. So they might be like coming in a way where they're trying to make you want them, or they're trying to make you regret not being with them. However, because of that Ace of Cups coming up, that's a very significant card. And that makes me feel there's still feelings there. So even if they think they're going to be able to interact with you and, nothing like that, happen, like, they're just going to be able to show off and leave, I feel like they're going to realize, you know what, no, there's still feelings here. And it could end up in an actual reconciliation. Although their intention may be in the beginning to just kind of like show up and make you feel sorry for, what you missed out on, there could be a getting back together. Seven of Swords also makes me feel like they're being a little bit cautious here in what they're going to, like how they're going to go about with their plans for the future. They may have a lot of people that have been discouraging them, and they're trying to find a way to make things happen, kind of like on the down low, okay, on the down low. So they might not be telling you a lot about their plans, and they may not be telling you a lot about what they're doing, because they feel like the less they say, the better. Like, they don't want to tell people, they want to show people. Like, they just want to get there. They don't want to hear along the way that it's not going to work, or, it's not a good idea. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to, have anything to do with that. So they're coming into the energy of just being very cautious what they do, who they share with. They may also be in the energy, don't be surprised, Crosswatcher, they may also be in the energy where if you all are hanging out or spending time together, regardless regardless of whether or not you all have reconciled or you're in a relationship or if this is a new person. They may be in the energy where like they don't want it on social media. Like they don't want you like posting and tagging them like, oh, you know, having dinner with the new boo, and like they don't want that out there. And it's, you know, it's interesting because Seven of Swords can sometimes mean a sneaky person, but I'm feeling it in a different way in this reading. The energy that's coming around it is very different this time. I feel they're being cautious, and I feel like they don't want other people in their business because they feel like the people in their life are negative, or their friends are negative, or their friends are fake friends, and they feel like if they see you posting them and tagging them on social media, all of a sudden these, you know, fake friends are going to be all up in your DMs, and they're going to be trying to steal you away, or they're going to try to say negative things about them to you, and they don't want it. They don't want it. So don't be surprised if this Aries is not in the energy of being just super out there, super public with their accomplishments or their goals. Or you might be like, you know, how come you didn't tell everybody that you did that, or you won that, or you passed that, or you're going to school for that, or, and they're just like, no, like I don't want people to know, like I don't want to put it out there, because they're so used to arguments, and they're so used to like people coming up in their business and telling them what to do and what not to do, that they're keeping their life to themselves right now. They've made up their mind and they're on the down low, right? And you may be comfortable with that, you might not be comfortable with that. You also need to keep in mind, Crosswatcher, this is a general reading. So if this is somebody who's being, if you're dealing with someone who's being sneaky in a toxic way, or if you're dealing with someone who's getting involved in dangerous things, or if you're, you know, dealing with an Aries who's, you know, making you feel uncomfortable, then, or putting you in danger or harm in some way, you absolutely have to leave. You absolutely have to leave. But these are general readings. So for other ones of you, you could be dealing with an Aries who is just being cautious because they don't want other people in their business. Like they're not necessarily doing anything wrong or shady or dangerous. They just don't want other people's negativity coming into the situation, and they just might want to be like on the down low with you. And you need to be supportive of what they're doing and where they're headed, and be okay and understand that they don't want to have a lot of attention coming their way right now. And, you know, if you're comfortable with that, then great. But if not, that's definitely the mode that they're in right now. So you might want to check out the love videos for September and see how those resonate with you. You might want to watch the love video for your sun sign, moon sign, rising sign. Some people like to watch the love videos for their Venus, so that can be helpful too. And guys, don't forget, every single week I do the general readings for the zodiac signs that are not about love, because I want you guys not to forget about you. Don't forget about yourself. Don't forget about you. Don't get wrapped up in what, you know, other people are doing so much to where you forget about yourself and your journey. So every single week I have the videos just for you guys. Make sure you check that out. And those of you who want a private reading, you can go ahead and click on the Calendly link in the description of the video, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. I'm more than happy to do that. And as always, guys, if you are curious about which cards I use, there's a link in the description for that. And I thank you guys for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I am wishing you the very best.